Now we are going to look at the second part of the story of two flights, the black aeroplane. See, here we have got the moon was coming up in the east behind me and stars were shining in the clear sky above me. Now here the author is saying that what had happened, the moon was shining in the east behind him and even stars were shining in the clear sky. There wasn't a cloud in the sky. He was basically in an aeroplane, and so he was telling the entire scene of the sky that there were no clouds also in the sky. I was happy to be alone high up above the sleeping countryside. I was flying my old Dakota aeroplane over France back to England. So he was quite happy that he was alone in his own aeroplane, which was a Dakota aeroplane which flew from France to England. He was going back to his hometown, England. I was dreaming of my holiday and looking forward to being with my family. I looked at my watch, 1:30 in the morning. He was dreaming that how I would enjoy my holiday with my family. So he was thinking all about his family and how they would enjoy the holidays. When he looked into his watch, it was 1:30 in the morning. I should call Paris Control soon, I thought as I looked down past the nose of the aeroplane. I saw the lights of a big city in front of me. I switched on the radio and said, Paris Control, Dakota DS088 here. Can you hear me? I am on my way to England, over. So he thought and he said to himself that I should call the Paris control room. And so he called it up and said that he was in the Dakota DS088 flight, and he asked them that if they could hear him. He said that I am on my way to England, over. The voice from the radio answered me immediately, DS088, I can hear you. You ought to turn 12 degrees west now. DS088, over. Now the voice from the control room also came and they said that we can hear you and we guide you to move 12 degrees west towards the west now, and then they said over. I checked the map and compass, switched over to my second and last fuel tank and turned the Dakota 12 degrees west towards England. Then after receiving the instruction, he looked into his map and with the help of compass he came to know what is the direction that they are saying. Then he checked his fuel tanks also, and then he moved his aeroplane 12 degrees towards the west to move back to England. I'll be in time for breakfast, I thought. A good big English breakfast. Everything was going well. It was an easy flight. Now he was daydreaming that I would be there in time at the breakfast table, and it is a good big England English breakfast that I will be having. So according to him, everything was going well and it was an easy flight. Paris was about 150 kilometers behind me when I saw the clouds, storm clouds. They were huge. They looked like black mountains standing in front of me across the sky. Now about 150 kilometers when he was in Paris, he saw that there were clouds over the sky, and they were actually the storm clouds. They were so huge that they looked like black mountains which were standing in the way of the aeroplane. I knew I could not fly up and over them, and I did not have enough fuel to fly around them to the north or south. And he knew that it was not possible for him to fly up above those clouds. So he checked also that he didn't have enough fuel left to fly around them to north or south. I ought to go back to Paris, I thought, but I wanted to get home. I wanted that breakfast. Now when he noticed that there were black clouds and there was not enough fuel and he wanted to go back to England, he thought that why not go back to Paris because he didn't have enough fuel. But then he said, but I ought to go home and I need to have breakfast with them. I'll take the risk, I thought, and flew that old Dakota straight into the storm. Though it was impossible for him to fly over those stormy clouds, but he said that I'll take the risk. And so he moved further towards England. Inside the clouds, everything was suddenly black. It was impossible to see anything outside the aeroplane. The old aeroplane jumped and twisted in the air. I looked at the compass. I couldn't believe. Now, when he was flying, he immediately saw that the clouds had grown more darker, more black, and it was impossible for him to see anywhere in the sky. And so, this old aeroplane had jumped and twisted in the air, so he looked into his compass. I couldn't believe my eyes. The compass was turning round and round and round. It was dead. It would not work. The other instruments were suddenly dead too. I tried the radio. Then he noticed that the compass had stopped working because it was moving round and round and round and round and not stopping at in any direction. He was quite surprised at what had happened to it. Then again he noticed that most of the instruments of the aeroplane also were gradually growing out dead. Now he tried the radio. Paris control, can you hear me? There was no answer. The radio was dead too. So he tried to call up at the Paris control room, but when he tried to call up, the radio was also dead. I had no radio, no compass, and I could not see where I was. I was lost in the storm. Then in the black clouds quite near me, I saw another aeroplane. It had no lights on its wings. But I could see it flying next to me through the storm. I could see the pilot's face turned towards me. I was very glad to see another person. He lifted one hand and waved. Follow me, he was saying, follow me. Now, since the radio was not working, it was impossible for him to know where he was at this present situation. He was totally lost in the storm. Immediately, he saw that there was another aeroplane flying just beside him, and there was no light on its wings. But he could see the pilot of that aeroplane, whose face was towards him, and he was quite happy. The author was quite happy to see that at least somebody is there in the storm along with me. That pilot asked him to follow him. He knows that I am lost, I thought. He is trying to help me. So the author assumed that maybe he knows that I am lost, and so he is trying to help me. He turned his aeroplane slowly into the north in front of my Dakota so that it would be easier for me to follow him. I was very happy to go behind the strange fellows. So that it would be easier for me to follow him. I was very happy to go behind the strange aeroplane like an obedient child. Now what happened? That pilot was moving his plane slowly towards the north in front of his Dakota aeroplane so that it becomes easy for the author to follow that aeroplane. So the author was very happy that at least somebody is there to help me. So he followed every instruction of that pilot very obediently. After half an hour, the strange black aeroplane was still there in front of me in the clouds. Now there was only enough fuel in the old Dakota's last tank to fly for 5 or 10 minutes more. I was starting to feel frightened again, but then he started to go down and I followed through the storm. Now half an hour had passed, still that aeroplane was leading the Dakota aeroplane and the author was gradually following that aeroplane. And then he noticed that there was only a little fuel left in the Dakota aeroplane and he could stay there only for 5 to 10 minutes more. So he was quite frightened. The author was quite frightened that what will happen. But then he started to go down and I followed through the storm. So he saw that the pilot was flying downwards, so he also followed him. Suddenly, I came out of the clouds and saw two long straight lines of lights in front of me. It was a runway, an airport. I was safe. I turned to look for my friend in the black aeroplane, but the sky was empty. There was nothing there. The black aeroplane was gone. I could not see it anywhere. Now, actually, that aeroplane, when it was going down, actually, it was landing. So, he also followed that aeroplane. And then, after some time, he saw that he was out of those clouds and it was a runway through which his aeroplane was passing by, and he was now at a safer place. So, the author he decided to look back at the black aeroplane and thank that pilot to help him. When he turned around, he could not see anybody in the sky or anywhere else. That black aeroplane had disappeared. I landed and was not sorry to walk away from the old Dakota near the control tower. I went and asked a woman in the control center where I was and who the other pilot was. I wanted to say thank you. She looked at me very strangely and then laughed. Another aeroplane? Up there in the storm. No other aeroplanes were flying dry. Yours was the last one I could see on the radar. Now, when the author had landed from his plane, he was not sorry to leave his Dakota at the airport. He moved towards the control center and he asked the lady who was sitting there that who was that person who helped me through the black aeroplane and had escorted me here, and he would like to thank that person. Now, that lady looked at the author very strangely and said that there was no other aeroplane in the storm. How could there be any aeroplane in the storm? We could see only your aeroplane on the radar. So who helped me to arrive there safely without a compass or a radio? And without any more fuel in my tanks? Who was the pilot on the strange black aeroplane flying the storm without lights? Now he was in a deep thought that who was that person who without any compass, any direction, any lights was helping him and escorted him towards the right direction, and that too, who was that person? He was still thinking about it. This way the story ends. That means if we feel very hopeless in some situations in life, then just remember that God is always there to guide you. Whenever you are in a depressed situation and you do not feel anything, you feel that now everything is lost, I'm gone, everything has happened wrong to me, now nothing could be done. Immediately a ray of hope, a light of hope always comes from the side of God. If we look at it, we'll immediately find that God is there, always ready to help us. So this story tells us this thing, and it is a very good and a moral story that tells us that always God is there. Even if you feel depressed or you feel lonely, we should never feel lonely because God is always there with us. So it's a very beautiful story, and I hope you people have understood it, that how he was guided in that black clouds where nothing could be seen, and still that second black aeroplane had come and escorted that author to the right direction so that he could be there at his home, right? So here ends up the story, and you can see the question answers of it on the NCERT website of CBSE, and hope this is clear to you all. If you have understood, press the like button, subscribe to our channel. Thank you.